Hello dear students of class 12 here today I focus on Berlin because this actually Berlin blockade brought the Cold War to its first great crisis. Here you can see the map. Actually the crisis over on actually Berlin, which was according to Germany division between the four victors. You can see here Eastern Germany received by Russia. Then geographically Berlin situated in Eastern Germany. That is a problem. It is a Russian zone. You can see the communist flag here, communist flag. So that German, when divided into four victors, Britain, America and French, according to division, Eastern Germany got Russia, and as Berlin also divided between four victors, so the Berlin situated geographically in Eastern Germany, that is a problem created. It is actually Russian zone, and Berlin, when divided into again east, west, north and south, Eastern Berlin again it was under Russia. So that problem created Western zone. Actually, what happened at the end of the Second World War, it was agreed at Yalta and Potsdam Conference that Germany and Berlin were each divided into four zones. While the three Western powers, look at here map, Britain, America and France, did their best to organize the economic and political recovery of their zones, the Russian Premier Stalin determined to make Germany pay for all the damages inflicted on Russia and treated his zone, means his, look at here map, his zone means Eastern Germany and Eastern Berlin, his zone, especially here as we are talking about Berlin, Eastern Berlin, as a satellite draining all resources away to Russia. Actually, it was said that during Second World War, Germany damaged Russian property, therefore Germany had to pay. Second point, in early 1948, the three Western zones, Britain, French and America, were merged to form a single economic unit. Thanks to Marshall Aid, because according to Marshall Aid, you know, all countries, those are suffering hunger, destitute, even poverty, they received help from America through the Marshall Aid. So what was the scenario actually, that it was actually showing that contrast picture in Western and Eastern bloc, because it is the poverty of the Russian zone in the Eastern zone and Western zone prosperity, very rosy picture, because the West wanted all four zones to be reunited and given self-government as soon, but Stalin decided that it would be safer for Russia if he kept the Russian zone separate with its own communist and pro-Russian government. That is why Stalin not agreed to join with the Western power. That is actually Stalin's mistakes. Thirdly, in June 1948, the West introduced, West means America, Britain and France, all three, they introduced a new currency and ended price control in their zone and in West Berlin. The Russians decided that the situation in Berlin had become impossible because one area, two currency, it is very difficult to run. So, already irritated by what they saw as an island of capitalism, 100 miles inside the communist zone. They felt it impossible to have two different currency in the same city, that means Berlin. And they were embarrassed by the contrast between the prosperity of West Berlin and the poverty of the surrounding area, that is the Eastern Berlin. Now, actually in this situation, what Russian Premier Stalin decided to do, now listen. The Russian response was immediate. All road, rail and canal link between West Berlin and West Germany were closed. That is Berlin blockade. Their actually aim was to force the West to withdraw from West Berlin by reducing it to starvation point. But it was actually a failure because the Western powers decided to fly supplies, and Russian actually would not take any risks shooting down the transport planes. Truman, the American president, actually sent a fleet of B-29 bombers to be positioned on British airfield. And what is the result, you know? Result was, over the next 10 months, 2 million tons of supplies were airlifted to the blockaded city in a remarkable operation which kept the 2.5 million West Berliners fed and warm right through the extreme winter. And finally, in May 1949, the Russians admitted their failure by lifting the blockade. It was totally failure due to the American president's decision to actually throw the B-29 bombers plane when massive supplies it was reached to West Berliners. Now, what is the outcome and result of the Berlin blockade 1948 to 49? The first important result was that it gave a psychological boost to the Western powers, though it brought relations with Russia to their worst ever. It's very bad actually relations. Number two, it caused the Western power to coordinate their defenses, and they resulted the formation of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that is NATO. And last one, there is no hope to unite Germany. German till divided and waiting for future decision. This is the Berlin blockade, what actually happened after the Second World War due to the division, not only Germany, even German capital Berlin. Again, I am repeating, look at the map. It is clearly mentioned the Berlin, it was situated in Eastern Germany, and Eastern Germany, when German divided, got by Russian. So the Berlin, accordingly geographically, it is situated in Eastern Germany. That is a problem created, because again when Berlin divided into 4 zones, the other 3 zones area, Western zones, that is a prosperity, and the Eastern Berlin, which was under the Russian zone, is a poverty. So that is why Stalin took a very strong step to actually barricade this area. That is, his response was very immediate, spontaneously responded. All roads, rail and canals link between West Berlin and West Germany. West Berlin and West Germany totally closed. Now the next point, that is according to your syllabus is mentioned, as we already just now discussed, what is the outcome of the Berlin blockade. One of the important cause, the formation of NATO. Yes, the formation of NATO also in your syllabus. The NATO or North Atlantic Treaty Organization, it was formed in April 1949 because all Western powers, all Western European countries, in March 1948 already Britain, France, Holland, Belgium, Luxembourg, they signed Brussels Defense Treaty, and they promising military collaboration in case of war. That is their objective. Now they were joined by the America, Canada, Portugal, Denmark, Iceland, Italy and Norway. And all signed the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Why? Now try to understand. That is their objective. They agree to regard an attack on any one of them as an attack on them all. I repeating again, an attack on any one of them as an attack on them all, and placing their defense defense forces under a joint NATO command organization which would coordinate the defense forces of the West. That is very important. And here one actually political diplomatic situation actually under America. What happened? The America had abandoned their traditional policy, that is isolationism, you know, and America always followed the isolationism policy, no entangling alliances, and for the first time they had placed themselves in advance to military action. Predictably, Stalin took it as a challenge and tension remained very high. That is a significance. America abandoned their policy and now they decided to take a strong action that resulted tension remained very, very high. And the last today discussion, the last point, the two Germanys. That is also in your syllabus, division of Germany. The Western powers went ahead alone and set up the German Federal Republic known as the West Germany in August 1949, and election also held, and Konrad Adenauer became the first chancellor of West Germany. The Russians also replied by setting up their own zone as the German Democratic Republic or East Germany. It is a communist bloc, communist zone in October 1949. Germany remained divided until the collapse of communism. In East Germany, it was November-December 89 made it impossible early in 1990 to reunite the two states into a single Germany, that is the unification of Germany. It was possible after collapse of communism in the world, then two German reunited. Thank you so much.